While Peter Dutton firms as the obvious choice if Malcolm Turnbull is toppled, we can exclusively reveal tonight he has a major legal cloud hanging over his head. Two of the country's most senior constitutional lawyers say there is a case Mr Dutton could be disqualified from Parliament over his business interests. Hugh Riminton has the story.
Right now, Peter Dutton is the critical player in the government. Malcolm Turnbull can't stay Prime Minister without him. And as Home Affairs Minister, he controls the most powerful law enforcement agencies in the Commonwealth and has never been afraid to use them.
And we've cancelled more visas of those criminals in the last 12 months.
But his private business interests are under close scrutiny. In his parliamentary register of interests, he lists himself as the beneficiary, along with his wife and children, of the RHT Family Trust, which ASIC documents show operates 2 childcare centres in Brisbane's northern suburbs. Here's where it gets interesting. Under a law change that Peter Dutton voted for, from July the 2nd this year, those childcare centres have been receiving direct subsidies from the Commonwealth Government. It was a change that as a Cabinet Minister he was bound to support, but the Constitution forbids MPs from having any direct or indirect pecuniary interest in any agreement with the Commonwealth.
It's on its face that Mr Dutton is in a position where there are at least questions to be answered.
The Constitution clearly states anyone in breach of that section is immediately subject to disqualification from Parliament.
Technically, yes, you're no longer a member of Parliament. Your seat has become vacated, so you cannot vote and you cannot sit as a member of Parliament.
It's the same section the High Court used to disqualify Family First Senator Bob Day because he had placed his electoral office inside a property in which he had a financial interest. The Dutton case differs from Bob Day's because the former Family First figurehead had a one-off arrangement that worked directly to his benefit. The childcare subsidies apply equally to other childcare centres. The constitutional experts say that distinction alone could get Peter Dutton off the hook. A spokesman for the minister says Mr Dutton's legal advice clearly states there is no breach of Section 44. But another constitutional law expert, Professor George Williams, agrees with Sydney University's Professor Anne Toomey that there is an arguable case against Peter Dutton.
It's a matter for the High Court to decide.
But Peter Dutton has an ace up his sleeve. To be tested in the High Court, he has to be referred there by Parliament. And the government, if only just, still holds the numbers. When 10 News raised similar questions about the business interests of Coalition Senator Barry O'Sullivan last year, the Prime Minister refused to act against him.
If Mr Riminton wants to commence proceedings against Senator O'Sullivan, he's free to do so, I'm sure.
In the end, it took National Party pre-selectors to dump Barry O'Sullivan from the coalition ticket. The government will rally around Peter Dutton, but it is now clear he sits in Parliament under a constitutional cloud. And a big question, is he legally entitled to be there at all? Hugh Riminton, 10 Eyewitness News.
And Hugh will have more on this story when he joins the team on the project at 6:30.